Alright, I've been trying to do this video for a little while. I just installed a brand new scanner, so I'm fixing to run the first scan on this particular scanner. Let me make this less blurry. Alright, that's better. Okay, so here we go, and we are going to look over here. You can change the name of this customer group. You can also go down here, see this is group manage. This is where you change the name of the group. You can edit it, and right now it says that the group name is customer group and the remark for it is customer group. You can change this so that if you're doing an event, like let's say you have an event, you can change this to the date. You can change it to the event in Dallas, right? And you can make this, you can organize this however you want to organize this. You can change this to the Go Green Challenge, right? And anything that you want to do, and then you're just going to hit save, and then that will update over here. It'll reflect right here. So now you have some examples there, and you can run a test on the examples, but I'm going to show you how to enter in new information. So what you're going to do is you're going to go down here where it says tested person manage. You're going to say add. This screen is going to pop up. This is something that I did, and I don't know if this is just me, but first thing I do is if it's a lady, I always change it to female first, because for whatever reason, if I don't do that first, I will forget to do it. So make sure that you're dealing with the right sex. Then you're going to put in the person's name. You can be as detailed with this as you want to be, and then you're going to want to put in their birthday. This is important because their demographics are going to be what the average frequency for that demographic is, what this is going to be compared to, okay? And so you don't want, you got to make sure you put in the right birthday, 85, come on now. All right, now you've got to convert the height into centimeters, and then you've got to convert the weight into kilograms. All right, these have asterisks next to them because they are required and they will print. This is the only information that will print on the report. Everything else that you put down here you can still access in this scanner software, but it will not print on the people's report if you decide to print it. Go down here to the bottom, you're going to hit save. Now this should reflect what you just entered. This is a way for you to check yourself, check that you have the correct birthday especially, and the right height and weight. Now you're going to go up here where it says the settings, okay? Has this person ever had a major surgery? This is a question that you want to answer, that you need to ask beforehand. We are testing a female in this case, okay? These are all of the different sections that are tested on a female adult scan. Let's say that a lady has had her gallbladder removed, all right? If that is the case, then you will find gallbladder on this list, which is right here, and then you will uncheck this box. Then you will go down to the bottom and then you will hit save. This is very important because it will save you from having to explain why gallbladder results are showing up on a scan when they've had the gallbladder removed. It is because the energy is still there, and it's because the ducts that attach the gallbladder to the liver are still there. And so it's still going to pick up, but it's not going to make sense to someone, and it will save you from having to have the conversation. It's very important too that the next person, you check this because you have to manually put it back in for the next person. Now what's very cool about this is that you can go through here and you can make this as many different reports as you want to, and you can change it up depending on what you are doing with your scans. So like, let's just say that you're only doing a scan for the Go Green Challenge. So what are your 5 major areas? The cardiovascular is one of them. I'm gonna plug my phone in here. Okay, so you will leave the box for that. And then the next one is the kidney. So you will literally uncheck all of these. Okay, and it'll take a little bit, but it'll be worth it if you're scanning several people especially. And then you will uncheck everything all the way to here, thyroid, and then you'll go up to the liver, because the 5 areas are what? Cardiovascular, liver, kidney, human toxin, and heavy metal. And so you'll go like this. Okay, lung. All right, now liver we do want right there. Now we're going to go down here. Now we've got the human toxin and the heavy metal. I'm going to pull this up here. We're going to leave them, and we're going to uncheck the rest of these. And when you are doing the Go Green Challenge, why these 5? Okay, well, 2 of them are major filters for the body. They also process things. Your liver is in charge of processing all of your hormones. It's also in charge of making healthy cholesterol. It's in charge of producing enzymes. It's in charge of producing lots of different things. And the kidneys flush the blood. They filter the blood 37 times a day. They need to be functioning correctly to do that. Heavy metals and toxins create an environment that is suitable for disease and for parasites. And as long as you have them in your body, your digestive system is not going to work properly. Also, the cardiovascular, because most deaths are related to cardiovascular in some way. Very important to have that particular section functioning correctly from a structural standpoint, which our Vasculax helps with very much, and in the blood content and quality, which is very much helped by our wonderful omega-3s. Now that you have the correct test that you want to run, and I just adjusted the sensitivity settings to that as well. This is so that if you have someone who has poor circulation or cold hands, it will pick it up a little easier if you do adjust that sensitivity. Now you're going to go up here where it says testing. It's going to open up this page right here. Simultaneously, your scanner should wake up, right? And then you will have your person sit with their feet flat. You don't want them to have their legs crossed. They can be sitting down in a bed like this. It's all right. Then you just don't want them to have their legs crossed. Have them remove all metal jewelry. Have them also remove any smart devices. It's very important. It will mess with these signal. This is a electrical frequency monitoring test. You're going to hit start at the bottom. This screen is going to pop up, and then you will hit start again. At this point, it will begin to scan. It will also begin to count. The noise that you hear can be turned off with your computer's volume, and you're going to want to be conscious of who you're scanning. There are instances where hearing aids, this is a very high pitch and uncomfortable sound for someone who has hearing aids. This also could be very uncomfortable for an autistic person to listen to. So you want to be aware of that. You can just turn the sound off on your computer. That will make that to where it goes away. I have found with smaller children that leaving the sound on is a good idea. Have them sing a song using the beeping noise as part of the music for the song. When this gets to 60, you know that the test is complete because it will stop counting. And you will also get a little pop-up in the middle of your screen that says the test is complete. And then you will be able to save this report. Then I'm going to show you how to save it as a PDF. Once it is saved as a PDF, you are now able to email this to your client. And once you email it, you're able to go into your documents and delete the PDF so that you don't have to have the memory used up in your computer. It will also store on this software here, and so it's very easy to go back in to obtain. Once you have deleted the PDF, you still have this record in this software right here. Go in here, go. And here in just a second, we're going to run another scan because I want to show y'all how to do a side-by-side comparison so that the next time that you do a scan, you can see how your results are. Test is finished. Please save it. Say OK. Then you're going to go down here to the bottom. You're going to say save. Now you will see this message, and depending on your memory of your computer, this could either flash up on the screen quickly, or it could take a few seconds for it to generate. What's happening is your computer is generating a 128 page, in some cases, PDF. And so it's creating a large file for you. This is your disclaimer. This is important that you read, or at least tell them that this is not a diagnostic test, that this indicates the cells balance or imbalance, right? And then you're going to have this over here. You're going to have your test reports. Each one of these is going to open up a new report within the tested area. And then you will be able to go through and see all of this here. Okay, for your tested subject. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to go down to the bottom and you're going to say save the report as a PDF. Here in a moment, your computer will pop up a little box and it is going to ask you to name the file, and you're going to name it whatever you would like to name it so that you can remember it. And then another thing that you're going to want to do, now that I'm thinking about it real quick, is you're going to want to go to your printers, TERS, and we want to change the default. Printer. We do not want to allow Windows to choose the way that we print to a PDF, because they would rather print out than to let you save it, to save your memory. And you do not want this automatically printing 128 pages without you authorizing it to. So turn this off right here, right there, okay? And then make sure that this says Microsoft Print to PDF. Let's go over here. And we want to remove that. We do not want to print to PDF, okay? Make sure that that is like that. PDF Creator is now the default, and this all looks correct now. All right, I'm gonna get out of that. Okay, now follow-up scan. All right, now this person's come back in. It's been a month later, right? They're using all their products like they're supposed to, and they want to come in, and now Tish has lost weight, right? So you want to select her name, okay? Then you want to go down here and you want to go to manage, okay, edit. So now let's just say that now Tish weighs, I don't know, 60 kilograms, okay. Save, okay. It will reflect, right there. Okay. Go up here to testing. And we're going to run another scan real quick. Finger in here. Start. And then start. Okay. While we're doing that, we'll talk about products for just a minute. The cardiovascular section has got a couple of different little areas in it that end with the word elasticity. That indicates the structural integrity of the vein and arteries themselves. When you see that particular word in it, there's different ones. There's coronary artery elasticity, there's vascular elasticity that ends with the word elasticity. That is your clue. This is a structure problem. This is a issue with the flexibility and strength of the walls of the veins themselves. This is indicating that the person would benefit greatly from the use of Vasculax. When you see other areas out of line, for example, the cholesterol crystals and the blood demand and things, this is indicating that the omega-3s would be very beneficial. So you would take the omega-3s, one little gel 3 times a day. You would take the Vasculax once in the morning and once in the evening time. And if the person, the V-Nitro is a very good product that you put underneath the tongue, and it actually ignites all the cells with oxygen. And disease has a very hard time thriving in an oxygen-rich environment. And so depending on the person's budget, this could be a very good option as well. Another thing is that I like to recommend the V-Nitro if someone has had a history of stroke or oxygen loss to the brain for whatever reason. Maybe they had a drowning, they lost consciousness, something where they lost some oxygen to the brain at some point. The V-Nitro would be a very good product for that person. They will feel a difference very much. It also will give you a boost of energy that's natural from oxygen. For the liver, we have Organex. For the kidney, we have Vitarin. It's very important when you're using these two products that you would take 1 3 times a day. After the dose, after each dose, they will then wait an hour and then take the binder, which is 40 Flora. They will take 1 40 Flora 3 times a day as well. But it's very important to take the binder an hour after taking these products. If you take it at the same time, it will bind to the products, making them ineffective. It's also very important that no other supplements or prescriptions be taken within another hour after taking the 40 Flora, because it is going to bind to those as well, causing them to not work. Our binder is made from activated charcoal from the shells of coconuts, which is the purest form of activated charcoal that there is. And it adsorbs, not absorb like a sponge, but rather adsorbs like a magnet, attracting the heavy metals released during the detoxing process from adult parasites, basically exploding. And so it's very important to do that. If you have that substance and you do not take the binder, you will then have these floating around aimlessly in the bloodstream, and that will cause the person to feel like they have the flu-like symptoms. It's called die-off syndrome. For the human toxin and the heavy metals, they will use the report called glutation capsules, because it has enough vitamin C to penetrate through biofilm, allowing the glutathione to get into the colony or into the fungus to expel it. The glutation plus, which is the under the tongue version of the glutathione, is excellent, but it will not penetrate biofilm on its own. So the capsule is what you want. You want to take one of those 3 times a day until you have your metals and your human toxins in the green. Then you can switch to tea, which you will take 2 cups a day of tea. Let's say that you're going to come back now. We want to compare. We want to see how did we do, right? So you're going to select both the first and the second scan. Go down here where it says comparative, hit that button there, and you are going to see on the bottom, this is the first scan, this is the second scan, okay? And the only thing that we changed is that we had the test subject lose weight, right? And as you can see, the results have not changed hardly at all. They're just based on a different weight. So the measurement is slightly different, but not very much different. The comprehensive report card and the comparative will only pull tests that are either in the yellow or in the red zones. And this is based on the fact that once you get into the yellow or the red, the imbalance could be severe enough to cause the person to have symptoms. And so if you want to actually go back and just look at the new test only, you will just select the new test, and then you can go down here and you can get the report, and it will pull up the full report, allowing you to look at each individual test report. And this is how you do scans, and this is how you do the Go Green Challenge. And so you will do another scan in a month, right? And continue the protocol until you start to see green. Green is good. Thank you for listening to this training. Good luck, and thank you for choosing Vital Health Global to help change people's lives. These tools and these products literally give you the ability to do this in a very precise and direct way. And it really takes the guesswork out of supplementation. I hope that you find this to be as useful and as wonderful as it has been, especially with me and my family. The Kids Scan is generated for all kids by their birthdays under the age of 10. So if they're less than 10, they will get this Kids Scan. If you'll notice here, it has an ADHD panel. This actually tells you how the child's neurotransmitters are firing, which is amazing given our epidemic of autism and other neurodivergent conditions in our youth. Once again, thank you very much for listening to this training. Have an awesome rest of your day.